Right guys, we're live. Welcome to Thursday Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig. This is the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. It's open to everybody. You're very welcome here. I always say at the start of the shows, this is your show. The Late Night Agenda is the viewer's show. You let us know the topics you want to have a chat about. If there's anything particular non-Liverpool related, we'll try our best to deal with it as well. But in the main, this is a Liverpool channel. This is a Liverpool show. It's your show. Welcome to the Late Night Agenda. I do have a few little bits and pieces I want to go through as well, of course, as the night goes on. I was doing out my agenda for tonight, guys. And I have to say, I felt like, I was talking to Connor before I came on, and I said, this is just going to look like it's a show about me moaning for the entire stream, because tonight's one, on my list of topics I want to talk about, a lot of it's just me complaining, so I do apologise and bear with me. I'm not in any way in bad mood. I'm actually really chuffed today, really happy. But this list of stuff is just going to sound like a bald Irish idiot moaning. So let's see how you guys are feeling before we get on to my stuff. Stephen is in, Farah, Ben, Tom, Tanamir, Stephen McDonough, Anthony Peters. How are you? How the hell are you guys? Are people who aren't Liverpool fans welcome? Absolutely, mate. Everybody is welcome to this. First and foremost, Tanamir, we're a football channel, buddy. We welcome anybody. All we ask is that you're respectful to the other people in the chat. And that respect will, of course, be reciprocated. So you are very welcome to join us, mate. Farwell, how are you, buddy? Great to have you in again. Thomas Bowling, Cryptic Gaming, lots of people in. Anthony Peters. Happy anniversary, Craig. Thank you. That's very kind of you. The missus was very chuffed with my nice little post, so we got a few brownie points there for that one. What else have we got? Who are we playing centre-back? Gomez better than Lovren. Who are we playing centre-back then? Gomez better than Lovren. That's the thing, Cryptic Gaming. That's the conversation that I'm after being having with people during the week. For me, it seemed cut and dry. All week I'd be saying to myself, I gave you guys the team as well. Trent at right back, Gomez and Van Dijk at centre back, Robertson at left back. But the more people that I've spoken to about this situation, the more people that seem to be thinking perhaps Jurgen Klopp will go with Joe Gomez at right back, and we may see Degsy come in at left back or left centre back, or centre back. Excuse me, mine's going all over the place trying to read all the comments. Yeah, we may see Degsy come into partner Van Dijk at centre back, and Gomez go out to the right. I don't know. I would trust Trent personally, but I can't rule it out completely because it's something we've seen before. We've seen him do it on a couple of occasions actually. Stop moaning, Craig. Not good for our health. I know, mate. It'll make me look older. There'll be lines on my face. I get you. You're right. Johnny Cuntylocks, Sky Sports, Liverpool not interested in Ramsey. Don't worry about that one, Johnny Cuntylocks, sir. I have that one on my agenda to talk about as well. I have a couple of things about Sky Sports I want to get off my chest tonight. Apparently Salah is unhappy at Liverpool and could leave in January. I mean, you couldn't make this shit up. Well, they are, but it's fucking hilarious. Cryptic Gaming, mate. I want to get on to that in a few minutes, so bear with me, buddy. That's definitely something I want to talk about because it ties in nicely to one of the subjects that I feel like I need to have a little bit of a moan about. Why move Gomez out? Why not use Klein? Said Connor. That's a good point. I think some people were saying that they were worried about Xhaka and that they were worried about Xhaka perhaps being too strong in an aerial duel. That didn't make sense to me. With the likes of Arnautovic and stuff, I could understand why. Arnautovic being a forward player, he might target the likes of Trent out there and use his physicality. But for Arsenal, I would be quite happy to see Trent there, I have to say. I see no reason to move Gomez at a centre-back, as Connor said. And I wouldn't see any benefit to having Klein there over Trent. He's a little bit more defensive minded perhaps, but Trent is in a rhythm, whereas we can't say that about Klein. He hasn't played enough games to get into said rhythm, if that's the right phrase. Luke Skywalker's in. How are you? Dirty Girl is in. Farwell, you'll be on 24-hour call with the property management job, pal. So, was there a new gig? Did I see a new gig? Farwell get a new gig? Tanamir, yep, as long as they're respectful, everybody's welcome, said Farwell, which is true. Everybody is welcome on this channel. All we do ask is that they are respectful. Lots of people still joining us, a few people coming in a little bit late. How are you guys? I'm playing around with a bit of a new system tonight. I've got a new screen open in front of me. I've got a new wireless keyboard, new wireless mouse. My laptop is a few feet away from me. Different type of lighting. The mic system is slightly different. But you know what? It's come together thanks to Connor. So fingers crossed it all works well. And the reason I'm trying all this out is because I told you guys that we're going to have a podcast coming up soon. And we need all this tech for that. We need extra screens. We need all these few little bits and pieces to make this podcast go. and I'm really excited about it. Me and Connor were having conversations earlier on about it. We're hoping maybe 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that, so don't hold us down to 2 weeks. Connor, when do we announce the name of the podcast, buddy? You're on the chat there now. I haven't spoken about the name of it to anybody. It's only me and Connor that know the name of this podcast. And when you hear it, you're going to think, oh yeah, that's pretty sensible actually. Tina Murphy's in. Tina, how are you? Cryptic Gaming said, do you think we'll win the Champions League? No. I'm being honest. No, I don't. The reason being, because I think we're going to win the Premier League. Now that just might sound a little bit contradictory, but I think that the focus for us this year has to be on the Premier League. It just has to be. Maybe I'm just somebody who's too fucking hungry for that Premier League title, but can we win the Champions League? Yes, we're capable of it without a shadow of a doubt. The team is good enough. We're set up to play well in Europe. I just feel that the Premier League has to be the goal this year. Connor said, hang on, can we have the logo sorted? Big reveal then. Look, he's the boss in these situations, so there you go. We'll hang off on the name. Another bit of a prick tease there from Connor and me. Apologies. But we will hang off on the name. Podcast Anfield Agenda. Anfield? Nah, nothing like that. The podcast name actually has nothing to do with Liverpool, so there you go. That's the only clue you're going to get. Right, so I've set up a few things to talk about, and it kind of ties into what Cryptic Gaming was saying a few moments ago about Mo Salah being unhappy at Liverpool and off in January. There's a few things that I'm after reading today that have just really pissed me off. So once again, the good people over at Sky have taken it upon themselves to have another little dig at Liverpool Football Club. So they disguised this well. They disguised it behind the article that is titled, "How's Karius faring in Turkey?" So you read that article and you thought, oh, do you know what? You know, they might be just looking to see how the guy's getting on over there. See maybe, you know, if the fans like him or whatever. But nah, it turns into a fucking hatchet job. So they're talking about his time in Turkey, and they're basically trying to suggest in this, as has been prevalent in the English media over the past few days, that Besiktas are unhappy with him and they want to send him back. There's also a section in there where they point out comments made from some fucking bum called Uli Stein. Now, if you haven't heard of that name before, you'll be the same as me. Uli Stein, who the fuck is he? Well, you'll be delighted to know that he's the former Azerbaijan and Nigerian goalkeeping coach. Now, there you go. The former Azerbaijan and Nigerian goalkeeping coach. Feels like Sky feel like he's the one they should go to for the confirmation here on Karius. So this clown Stein, excuse me if I mispronounce his name, he went on to comment that Karius seems to think that it's more important to take photos and share stuff on social media than it is on the field. Firstly, dickhead, that sentence doesn't even make fucking sense. I'm going to read it back to you again, just in case you brushed off. Because I'm not paraphrasing this, this is exactly what he wrote down. Or what I'm quoting from the article. Karius seems to think that it's more important to take photos and share on social media accounts than on the field. So, what I'm gauging by that is that Karius should be taking more photos on the field and not sharing them on social media. Is that what you're trying to say, Mr. Steen? Anyway, this article goes on to talk about his time over there. Sky like to highlight every error he's made over there. They like to talk about the fact that there was a story that Besiktas wanted to send him back on loan, or send him back to Liverpool from his loan spell and bring Divock Origi over. They went on to talk about the deal a little bit, in that Liverpool have a 2.25 loan million fee for Karius. He's going to be over there for 2 years. There's something in the contract apparently that says if he plays over 50% of his games for Besiktas and they qualify for Europe next season, then Besiktas are tied in to have to pay Liverpool a further £7.25 million. Obviously there's probably a few other intricacies along the way as well, but I think that's the cut and dry of it. But then I got an article sent to me from The Guardian. I think it's The Guardian. I want to give credit here. I'm 90% sure it's The Guardian, but you know what? I'm going to find it as well, just to make sure. Because I don't like to... yeah, it is The Guardian. It is The Guardian. So The Guardian goes on to talk about a similar thing, but they are really honest and fair about it, and they say, why do the Turkish media seem to be out to get Loris Karius? That's how they label the article. Now, I read into this, I read that article as well, and do you know what? They're a lot more fair on that one. They blow away this whole thing. They say that Besiktas are happy with Karius, that the fans are happy with him, that the ownership or the Besiktas management have fucking no idea where all these stories are coming from. If anything, It's suggested that his social media following is a good thing and it's highlighting the club. Karius has something like 2.4 million Instagram followers or social media followers, something along those lines. So Karius's lifestyle is part of the package that you get when you bring in somebody like Loris Karius. I don't know where these stories are coming from. And furthermore, I don't know why the fuck they're coming out. Karius is in Turkey. Show me one other fucking player that Sky talk about that plays in the Turkish league. One. Just one. They don't do it. The only reason they're doing it is the same reason that they're always at this shit. To try and undermine Liverpool Football Club. To try and have another sly little dig at us while we're doing well. While things are going good. They cannot fucking stand that things are doing well for Liverpool Football Club. True Gamer, excuse me, not True Gamer, what's the guy's name again? Cryptic Gamer said a few minutes ago, the story there that Mo Salah is unhappy at Liverpool and may want to leave in January. I mean, we both know that that's absolute bullshit. He's only sharing a story that the gent has seen somewhere. But we all know it's just somebody else trying to have a sly little fucking dig. There's absolutely no way somebody who signed a new contract in the summer, somebody who was loved, adored, worshipped and backed by the fan base, is ever going to do this shit. It's absolute fucking madness. What do you guys feel about this? Because I'm starting to get a pain in my bollocks with everybody trying to have a go at Liverpool and undermine us. It's like every other club. Spurs, the media couldn't blow smoke up their arse enough. Manchester City, absolute fucking darlings of the media. They can't talk about the bus incident enough. Sky are forever gone on about that shit as well. Manchester United, look, I would say all the time that yes, there's a lot of pro Manchester United media. There is, but there's also been a lot of anti-Jose media. So I got to be a bit fair with my analysis there. They have had a little dig at Jose. But in general, I feel Liverpool are being absolutely fucked over with the stories that are coming out trying to undermine our football club. Every fucking day one of our players wants to go off, according to the paper. We had Mane stolen on the contract issue. We had the stories around Barcelona coming in for Bobby Firmino. We have the stories today the Cryptic Game is talking about for Mo Salah wanting to leave. Every single fucking day there's some other piece of garbage that come out trying to undermine our football club. And they think we can't see through it, like. And then they all go on to say how much they hate us. And they all go on to say how we're the most fucking scumbaggy fans on social media. And how we're all up our own arses. Yada yada yada. Yet the Manchester City fans go to Spurs and spend the fucking time singing about us. Chelsea play at home and they spend their time singing about Steven Gerrard. Talking about his slip, singing about Liverpool Football Club. These people need to get a fucking life. Liverpool are here, you absolute assholes. We ain't going anywhere. We're fucking mustard. Klopp is building something special. Accept it. Be fair. Give credit where it's due. And do your job. Do your fucking job as a media organisation. Do your job. That's not too much to ask. Craig, the media are hell-bent on crashing Liverpool's success. They'll never let go of the past. They'll never let go of the darling United or crap despite the water carrying. Karius loaned out, Ings loaned out, Clavin loaned, Karius loaned out, loaned, Clavin's not loaned, mate, no, Clavin is gone, his contract was running down and I think we got a very small fee for that move to Cagliari. Ings, yes, Ings is loaned out, but apparently that's another deal that has a clause in it that they have to buy him at the end of the year. Can't remember the amount, it may have been 20 million, may have been something like that. Poochman said, for the life of me I don't understand why Karius is a footballer, he's not good at it. Should be a model or something else. I mean, whatever your thoughts are on Loris Karius, mate, I'll leave them to you. But my point here is, he's a player that's clearly not coming back to Liverpool Football Club. Sky are only bringing this up because he's making mistakes. You think if Loris Karius was playing a blinder over there, that they'd be talking about it and they'd be bigging him up and they'd be saying that Liverpool could have a gem to come back to on their hands if the deal isn't taken up. No, they're just doing it to be absolute pricks. Trent has been caught out of position a lot this season. I've seen it against Napoli and Chelsea. If it happens in the Arsenal game, we'll concede goals. He's a magnificent player though, but Gomez at right back. The same can be said of Gomez though, LFC_5. He's been caught out at right back as well. He's been caught out at centre back last season by ball watching, but to be fair to him, that really hasn't taken place this year. But at right back, he's a little bit out of his comfort zone. I don't see the point in moving a player from a position he's playing really well to moving him out wide to right back. Now look, I do agree with what you're saying about Trent. That has happened. I'm not arguing with that side of it whatsoever. it's just, it seems for me a little bit too much. You're moving two players out of position to solve one problem. So I'd rather, as Connor said, perhaps we left Gomez at centre back and brought in Klein if we think it's a defensive issue at right back. That, for me, that would make more sense than putting two people out of position. Mundo Sporto needs to be kicked back into life, said Connor. There you go. I mean, Mundo Sporto, it could sort all this shit out in a heartbeat. What else have we got? Let's all go and carry to Twitter and say something nice just because, said Rod. There you go. That's a lovely thought. Do you know what? I've said this before to you guys. Some of the stuff I've seen on as posts from the Besiktas fans has been beautiful. I mean, really, really lovely stuff. Farwell said it's anti-Jose because he's screwing their dream team. They're United and England's forever team. Somebody comes in, ruins their baby, they turn on him like a cobra. Hi Craig, hope you had a good day. Genuinely doesn't bother me what the media are saying about the Reds. So terrified we're on the right track. Spurs, English Golden Boys. Manx run the FA, no shock. Yeah, I agree. And this is why I like being able to do this. I like coming on here. If this was a more professionally run outfit, or if I had agendas to want to deal with Sky in the future, or I wanted to get interviews with players, whatever, I couldn't say some of the stuff. We couldn't have the freedom that we have on here now. So I'm happy to come on here and call Sky a bunch of assholes, because I've no fucking interest in ever working with Sky in my life. So I'm easy to come on here. It makes no difference to me. I'll come on here and give my genuine opinion. And some people will be worried about or concerned about their future. Like, it's no secret I'd like to have a career in media. But I'd like to have a career in media off my own back, off what we're doing in the future. I don't want to go and work for somebody else. So I don't ever have to worry about Sky coming back at me, because I don't give a fuck about Sky. I would never work for Sky. I would never take their money. So I'm happy to be on here and give my honest views, which is something you're always going to get on this channel, guys. You're always going to get our honest views. We won't hold back. We won't be beholden to anybody. And we won't have agendas put to us. We will talk about what the fuck we want to talk about. We let you guys have the freedom to discuss whatever you want to talk about. If there's an issue you want raised, raise it, we'll talk about it. Nothing is off limits on here, unless of course it's liable. Then we have to be careful, because, you know, we're not going to put ourselves up like that. They all sing about us because there's a lot of legitimacy about our history, and they know it deep down, so they judge their success against Liverpool, said Far Isle. True, they don't have any history, a lot of them, so that's a fair point. They're all closet Liverpool fans, they just won't come out, said Tom. Sometimes I feel that, mate. Sometimes I think you're absolutely spot on. Some of these fuckers look at the fun that we have. They look at the way Liverpool fans look after each other. They look at the COP. They look at the Liverpool fans over in Kiev. And they look and they just go, fuck. Why can't it be like that for us? Instead, you've got the 10 or 12 Manchester City fucking idiot fans in Wembley trying to sing, and nobody can comprehend the damn word that they're saying. Not a note between the 12 of them. Jumping around an area that would be full if it was Liverpool. I mean, you wouldn't be able to walk for Liverpool fans in that area. Trying to sing a song about us. I mean, they're just letting us know that we're bothering them. And look, yes, I'm coming on here moaning about it, so I am reacting. I get that point. But I'm reacting because I just see it as so fucking pathetic. Tony said, come on, United have been destroyed by Sky lately. Do we care? Getting a bit just shows we're back. I don't think United have, to be fair. I think Jose has. Craig, last week's Klopp selection, don't think I'll bother predicting, said Anthony. It's getting hard, isn't it? It really is getting hard to pick what team Liverpool are going to put out. I don't think I've got one right yet this season. I've come close. I think I've got one player off one week. Liverpool legend said 1970s and 80s everybody hates us. We're going to bring those days back. They'll hate us again. Chelsea City and all those people can pack their bags and leave. AS Empire said we're the most hated team / fans just because of our success. Jace Roberts has joined us. Jace, how are you, sir? Said not on long for tonight, just dropping on. I'm tired. Want Trent at right back as much as possible, and Gomez to continue at centre back alongside Virgil van Dijk. I'm right with you there, mate, and I think Connor is as well. It makes more sense just to keep him there, particularly when he's been playing as well as he has. I mean, that's the dream team for me there at centre back. Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez. It's been going so well. I can't wait until we win the league, said Farwell. All the mouthfuls of crap the media will have to choke. It'll be delicious to watch. let's be honest, we could have left. We could be in the EFL Championship if Klopp didn't come. Playing Sturgeon, Hendo and Alana Moreno, Clavan, Lover, Mignolet. Alana isn't bad, but, well, we were never going to be in the EFL Championship. Come on, that's overreaction of the highest order. Mid-table, yeah, well, come on, we're never getting relegated. Eyebrows are looking good. I feel the missus input, said Tony Smith. Didn't touch them, mate. Not a touch on these eyebrows. They haven't been done since pre-holiday. I think I gave them a quick trim before the holiday. That would have been about 3 weeks ago at this point. And no, all done by me. No input from the missus whatsoever. So there you go. LFC clapped when Karius came on in pre-season. Exactly, they did. The fans did. What have I missed? Asked Stephen Taggart. Not too much, mate. Just basically me whinging. Me moaning about Sky and their agenda. And the stories that keep coming out trying to undermine Liverpool. Not just from Sky. There's a couple. Cryptic Gaming has told us a story that he's seen in the media about Mo Salah apparently being unhappy and wanting to be off in January, which is just nonsense. Fun Gamer said, hi Craig, sorry for being late. Never any need to apologise, buddy. You're welcome here as always, but don't ever feel you need to apologise. Drop in and out when you can. It's a pleasure to always have you here with us, man. No expectations at our end. Tom said, when we win the league, you'll know the haters will say it's only because we spent millions on players. Because we all know City and United and Chelsea got their players for free. Yeah, true. The difference is, though, we fucking earned the money for our players. We didn't go into debt to buy our players. A sugar daddy didn't come in and just jizz 100 million all over us and just go, there you go, guys, have all that money, go out and buy whoever you want. No, we went on a good run in the Champions League. We sold one of our best players for a ridiculous amount of money, and we funded the transfers that we've used. Jurgen Klopp has brought in all of the money that has been, well, not just Jurgen Klopp, the club have brought in all the money that's been spent. So again, there's somewhat of a difference. So I get where you're coming from, Tom. Where else was there? Something else. You egghead, said Tom Shaw. Close. I mean, you nearly spelled the word you right, Tom, so well done on that one. Egghead, again, it's disappointing, Tom. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you go down, you look at your mother now and say, I went on YouTube and there was this Irish idiot on there and he's bald, so you'll never guess what I called him. I went with egghead because he's never been called that before. I mean, come on, buddy. You're better than that. I know a good fella who can teach you trolling if you need it. I mean, come back to me. I'm happy to help. You may have slagged me off and called me egghead, but there's love here for me, mate. I will teach you the ways of trolling. I will show you. I'll put you under my wing and let you see how it can be done properly. Rather than just you egghead. Come on. I could have just typed back and said you cunt. You nonce. You virgin. But I didn't. I'm entertaining you. I'm trying to give you a chance here. That's the difference, mate. I'm giving you a chance. Come on, Tom. I believe in you, mate. I do. You have it in you. Look deep down in your soul, mate. Break out that dictionary. I mean, there's predictive text on your phone if you're just too thick to spell. I'll give you one more chance, mate. Come on, let's come back. Something good. Find it laughable City fans singing about us trying to create a rivalry with us when there's nothing in it. No, nobody gives a fuck about them. You're right. There is no rivalry there. There's respect from me for the style of football that they play, but that's got nothing to do with the fan base. I mean, I respect the way the football team is playing on the field because they're a damn good footballing team. Credit where it's due. But they're a damn good footballing team because they have an excellent manager who has had plenty of funding. Again, that's not for me to judge. Our players make more money. Our players make money. Their players make money. I don't understand what that means. Our players make money. Their players make money. Gone over my head, mate. Craig, have you seen Sky and BT Sport have come together for Irish customers? I have, Stephen. Not happy about it one bit, mate. So as Stephen is saying, Sky and BT Sport have come together for Irish customers from the summer of 2019. Sky and BT Sport will be one price if you have Sky. There's no way it's going to save us money, mate. All that's going to happen is you'll be able to buy a package on Sky that includes BT Sport, but you can be guaranteed they're going to charge you for it. There's no way they're going to save us any money. I promise you that one. They're going to just, put in the 25 quid a month that it costs for BT or whatever into your Sky subscription and vice versa. If you're over with Virgin or whatever, they'll do something that way. Sky have got Netflix coming on really soon, which is quite cool. If you already have a Netflix subscription, you can sign in on Sky with that one and play around. So look, we're not just bashing Sky on here. We're trying to give, We're being fair. I'm giving them some credit for some good services as well. Our players make money. Already got that one. The anger from rival fans has just shown how good we are. Cryptic Gaming said, I like how in the semi-finals Ferdinand, the ex-Man United player, cheers, so did Lineker. You look like Bateson. No, mate, Bateson looks like me. I'm older than Bateson, better looking than Bateson, bigger balls than Bateson, better in front of a camera than Bateson, and just generally in life more successful with the world than Bateson is. He probably has a lot more followers on YouTube and stuff, let's be fair, virgins generally do, but other than that, I'm a fucking superstar. I'm a rock star compared to Bateson, so Bateson looks like me, but I've seen a vagina in my life, so, you know, there being the difference. I'm slagging off the guy, I've never met him, I don't know him. Maybe I'm being a bit unfair. But he's an ugly cunt. And I'm a beautiful looking Irish bastard, so bit of an unfair comparison. Senior El Flamo said, I'd like to buy Wan-Bissaka. He has huge potential. Love Trent though. We need a bit more permanent backup at right back. Gomez to be a permanent specialised central defender. Wan-Bissaka looked very good when we played Crystal Palace. He was very, very impressive. A couple of Reds said the same thing after the game. He looks really good. Stop saving chat. What? I've no idea what the fuck that's on about, Kieran, mate. Sorry, you've lost me. What's your prediction for Liverpool versus Arsenal? Says KKB. 3-1, mate. I think the Reds are going to win 3-1. City and Chelsea are not our rivals. The Bitter Blues and those Devils up north are. Was doing Movember but failed already, said Ferno. I mean, Jesus, that's quick. Now where's Tom Shaw's message? I want to read this little fucker's message. I wanted to give him another shout. I wanted to give him a fair chance. Fight me, Dr. Egghead. Oh my god, mate, I'd bitch slap you. I would take just one of my big Irish balls and slap your forehead around with it a few times. And just bitch slap you up and down the street. Mate, you were a little pussy. Probably a little pussy. Probably about a 14-year-old fella. So we come on talking about fighting, Tom. Come on. You couldn't kick your way out of a paper bag, mate. Let's be honest. And your ma probably wouldn't let you out late enough to fight anyway. I mean, don't be like that, Tom. There's love in the world, mate. You'll find it someday. You'll find it. If not on the internet, somebody will love you. I promise, Tom. And if not, come back to Dr. Egghead, mate, and I'll sort you out. I'll give you a hug. It's all good, buddy. All love on here. Now go away. Time to go to bed. Adios. Here's one for you, Craig. Tom Davies, Everton Football Club, will be nominated for the Golden Boy Award. And our mate Christy Pulisic hasn't. World is officially mad. I don't understand some of the awards, mate. Is Pulisic young enough for the Golden Boy? I honestly don't know. I can't remember what the cut-off point is there. Craig, they've been ripped apart. United, that is, from Scholes, Rio, and even Owen Hargreaves. That's how shite they are. They are quite shite, Tony. I mean, fair is fair. No, you're right. Actually, no, you're right in what you're saying. But maybe I'm just attributing all that to Jose Mourinho, mate. But they have been ripped apart. You're right. Red Tick Gaming said, I'd like to see Trent at right back and Gomez and VVD at centre back. Puts them where they're strong. Kigby said, would love Trent to win the Golden Boy, but obvious choice is Mbappe. Yeah, it's really tough, isn't it? How can you not give it to Kylian Mbappe? Look, we all love Trent, and there is some really excellent young footballers in the world, but Kylian Mbappe has just won a fucking World Cup. Yeah, it's going to be tough, mate. I'm with you. DZB says hello from Glasgow. There you go. Bates and 87, the Diamond Stealer. That has gone over my head, Connor. I don't know. I'll leave that to you. Oh, okay, there it is. There you go. Bateson stole diamonds and spent it all on FIFA points. That's gone over my head. What's up, Craig? Always watch your show. Never miss one. Really love it. Don't ever stop doing it. Best show from Jamaica, said Orlando Green. That's so kind of you, mate. Thank you. Really appreciate your support. And thank you for dropping into the chat. It's always great to get to chat with somebody or get to interact with somebody who may not usually jump into the chat. So thank you for your continued support, mate. I'm really happy that you like the show, and I hope you continue to like it. Wan-Bissaka has been playing amazingly, but he misplaces a lot of passes. If he improves, then it'd be amazing at right back. Put some where they're strong. If he improves, then it'd be amazing at centre back. Puts them where they're strong. We'll see. We'll see. Bigger balls is a bad sign. It means you're not getting your half. That's why I painted my balls orange, said Tony Smith. It just happens, mate. Just when you're Irish, you know, big Irish balls, just happens. Yeah, I get you. If you're not busting, you're not enough. But they go blue at that point, you know, not to let in anyone any secrets or anything. Craig, all of us Irish are good looking, aren't we? Let's be honest, Ben. We've got some absolute fucking munters in Ireland as well. Jesus Christ, there's some Irish fellas that, you know, and I'm not an oil painting, I was only winding him up earlier on, but Jesus, we do have some ugly bastards in this country, Ben, we really do. Louise is back, just back from watching Manfred Man. I hope you enjoyed yourself, hope you had a lovely evening, Louise. I'm sure you did, just hope you did. Sanko wasn't nominated. Hey guys, Cameron is in. Guys, there's one more thing I want to have a chat about. A lot of you, oh no, there's more comments here I have to get through. I thought I was done, so bear with me. I like to go through all the comments before I get going. Shirley Trent is golden boy. What have we got? Arsenal defence versus front three versus Arsenal forward versus Liverpool's defence. Will this be the biggest test for Liverpool's defence, especially for VVD and Gomez? Nah, mate, it won't. I would have said that Manchester City would have been the biggest test. Arsenal, look, Aubameyang is a very good footballer. Lacazette's a very good footballer. I'm not going to be disrespectful to a team that have gone on a run that they have, but they're not on the same level as Manchester City, and for me that would have been the biggest defensive test for Liverpool Football Club. Remember me from Limerick, said Tony Barry. Hand on heart, mate, at this moment in time I can't remember, so apologies, that's not meant as an insult, I'm just again being honest. I'm a forgetful fucker though. If you watch the show, Tony, you'll know it. I don't remember yesterday a lot of the time, mate, so please don't take any offence from it. Alpha G is in the house. How are you, sir? Forgot about Mbappe, said Lee. Yeah, it's tough to think of him as a really young guy at times, isn't it? Because he's just so damn good. Did you see the strap Salah has on his wrist? Heard it's a wrist sprain, said Stealthful. I seen it. Somebody mentioned it to me as well. I don't know what it's about. Yeah, I don't even want to think about more injuries, buddy. I'm trying to be on the positive side. But that strap, when I seen him take off his top against, I think it was City, and he had the strapping on the shoulder still, that kind of did freak me out a little, if I'm being honest. There was a fake article claiming Bateson stole a diamond worth 50k and traded it for FIFA points. Oh, fucking hell, God bless the internet. No Hendo and Kata still out injured, said Tina Murphy. Sean Lunt has joined us. Sean, how are you? Great to have you in with us, buddy. One love to Jamaica, said Lee. Absolutely one love, mate. One love to everybody. Evening, Craig. I've decided I'm missing Raggy, said Stephen Richards. You're not the only one. Connor misses Ragnar Klavan. I told you guys about the time when he left. Connor said to me, and I'm paraphrasing here, something along the lines of, do you know what? This feels really weird. It's not like he's gone on loan. He's really gone. He's gone for good. Like, there's no more Klavan. And he was serious. You could almost, you know, you could feel the sadness in what he was saying. So you're not the only one, Stephen. Connor misses him as well. Zeta said, nice to meet you. I'm a Red fan of 30 years from the Middle East. You really stream every day. I do indeed. Well, I try to stream every day, mate. Usually from 10 o'clock UK time, so 10 PM till around midnight. Also do match days, we do watch-alongs of the game, we do post-match shows, we do some pre-match stuff, and we do a few other bits and pieces. Now, hand on heart, Saturday is going to be a little bit differently. I won't be here for the watch-along of the game on Saturday. I will be back late, maybe around 11, midnight on Saturday night to do a show. But yes, mate, we do try and stream every single day. We're fairly good with that as well. I can't remember really how, bar my holiday, I don't think I've really missed many nights. And you're welcome, by the way, Zeta. Great to have you with us, mate. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, though, buddy, if you're new to the channel. Hi, Craig. Any news on the Ox? Can't wait to see him back. It'd be like a new £50 million signing. Somebody said to me yesterday, Wayne, and it shocked me a little bit. They said that they're hoping that Alex Ox, like, no, they didn't say they were hoping. They pulled this from an article or something, that it's hoped that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will be able to make an appearance before the end of the season. I have to say, Wayne, that took me back a little bit, buddy. I thought he was a bit closer than that. I know he had a few setbacks, but I didn't think he was that far off. So maybe somebody else in the chat has read something or can fill us in on this one. Louise had a boss night, which is great to hear. Again, Anthony saying welcome. A lot of people welcome and said it as well, which is beautiful to see, mate. You're in a good place. You're here with fellow Reds, so enjoy yourself. Great to have you with us. Craig, Virgil will turn Arsenal inside out. Susan Cox said, Gary Neville has said, now I read this was down on my topics to talk about as well, so I might as well talk about it now. Gary Neville has said he'd rather see Salford City, or Salford United, it's Salford City, isn't it? Rather see Salford relegated than see Liverpool win the Premiership. Imagine that. He owns part of that fucking football club, and he'd rather see his own club relegated than Liverpool win the Premier League. That's just sad. That's sad, sad, sad. Rather see your own club relegated than Liverpool win the Premier League. I don't know, mate. I don't know. That is sad. Only Gary Neville could come out with that one. And look, I'm not Gary Neville's biggest hater. I've given Gary Neville so much credit over here. He's one of the best football pundits on television right now. But come on, that's a bit much. It's a bit sad. I'm the only person in my class who's English, Scottish and Irish, said Ben. Was there somebody else there? Hang on, I missed it again. I preferred Clavin over Matip, said Cameron. He did have a few decent games, to be fair. Craig, I see Fabinho turning into a legend at Anfield, said Stephen Richards. He's a class player. If the first two games were anything to go by, and he hasn't fully settled in yet, mate, I mean, sky's the limit for Fabinho, or the octopus as we like to call him. What Clavan left, said Fun Gamer. Yes, mate, he left at the end of the summer. Went to Cagliari. I don't know if he cancelled down his contract, let him go on a free or whatever, but he did. He went to Cagliari. Why does everybody miss Clavan? I don't know, he was one of those mythical figures, wasn't he? He was kind of like, what's the phrase that they have for these people? What is it? TikTok. I'll come back to it. Again, see, this is what I said earlier on. If I haven't remembered your name, don't worry about it because I can't remember fucking yesterday. Cult hero, Ferno. Thank you, sir. Save my ass as always. Cult hero, that's exactly the phrase I was looking for, Ferno. Thank you, sir. Red Heat Gaming says, why does it feel like I missed Sturridge again? So much on the pitch. It feels so good to see him and play. It's brilliant to see him fit. It really is. It's a pleasure to see him fit and to know he's an option for Jurgen Klopp and for the fans to see. 4 goals already this season as well, so hopefully a lot more to come from Studge. Paul Joyce said that the Ox might be back playing this season. Guys, I do have one thing I want to talk about before I get back into the chat. Now, it's a bit of a sad thing, so bear with us. As you guys know, we had ongoing issues with YouTube with regards to monetization. Now, for people who don't understand what we mean by monetization, you know, often you go onto YouTube and you're watching a video and an ad will pop up and you have to watch a few seconds of the ad and then you click next, or you watch the whole ad, or whatever you do, that's up to you. But you see that come up. Also, people who are monetized are able to take advantage of super chats, so people can send them a couple of quid to get their comment read out or to help fund the channel. It's pretty straightforward. YouTube sends you money every month for your ad revenue, yada yada yada. Well, we've been on here now 7 months or so. We have absolutely smashed the threshold for being able to get monetized. I mean, we've hammered them with regard to the numbers. You need X amount of subscribers, which we've more than got. We've had something like 4 or 5 times the annual hours of watch, or the hours that need to be watched. We've hammered that in less than half a year. But today, Connor broke the news to me that once again, YouTube has refused us for monetization. So they've turned down our application to become what's called a partner, and we cannot take in any revenue. So there you go. We've always said we wanted this channel to be self-funding, and YouTube have once again come back and denied us monetization. Now, as I said, this is a community channel, so I want to be as open as I can about this. I'm going to pull up exactly what was said. So here's why your channel wasn't approved for monetization. Reused content. Reused content was the heading that was given to us and the reason for us not being monetized. Now, it says, in most cases, you can't re-upload somebody else's content unless you get permission first. Remember, it's not enough to credit the content owner or state no copyright infringement is intended. Then it says learn more about copyright and fair use, so it gives you an option to click on that to learn about that. Here are some types of content that are subject to copyright: audio visual works like TV shows and movies, sound recordings and musical compositions, visual and written books including paintings, posters, articles and books, dramatic works such as plays and musicals, video games and computer software. So myself and Connor have thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and we've absolutely got no fucking clue. No clue where this reused content is. All our content is 100% original. So we don't show clips, we don't play music, we don't pull up anything else from anywhere else. All our content is just me and Connor making it and putting it out here. So we've no idea why we're being refused yet again for the very same reason as the first time. And we've got no indication from YouTube as to how we can alter this or move forward. So you might think this isn't a big deal, but to us it really is. Because myself and Connor have been funding this channel from our own pockets. We've got some donations that have allowed us to do other stuff, but on a monthly basis we are losing out on a fairly substantial amount of money. So it's a tough one because we always want the channel to be self-funding. So I don't know what to do at this moment in time. We really have a tough choice to make on how we're going to move forward. We don't want to charge for content because we believe it's wrong for a fan channel to do that. We're trying to play by the rules. We've got no fucking idea what we've done wrong. Nobody has told us. We don't want to break the rules. We want to, make sure we're on YouTube and we're doing the right things. It's a tough one, guys. It's really, really tough. And Connor and I are fairly confused over this one. And I hate coming on here to talk about this, but it's baffling. It's something that could cause the channel to fold, because indefinitely we can't, just keep funding it ourselves, because we've got lives and families and stuff, and we already put enough hours into this that we just can't keep going on and throwing money at it as well. So again, what will happen in the future remains to be seen. Myself and Connor will try and figure out ways of going forward and keeping the channel going. Yeah, it's tough. Wasn't expecting it. We thought we ticked all the boxes. We thought we'd done everything okay. It's a tough one. Yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know anyway, because I said this isn't our channel. This is your channel. This is a fan channel. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that one. In the long term, I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. But we'll let you know what happens as and when we go along. And hopefully we won't have to fold it up and throw it in the bin, because that would be an awful fucking shame. Yeah, so that's that anyway. So look, we'll move on and I'll get through some more of your comments and we'll get back to Liverpool Football Club related stuff. Forgot Matip existed, said Alpha G. Stephen Richard says Craig the Ox might be back in the new year. Tina Murphy said, where's that one? Where's Tina Murphy's comment gone? Craig, what do you think about Shaqiri possibly being sold in the summer to get another player? I don't think it'll happen, Tina. That's a very weird story. Where did you see it though, Tina? I really would love to know where that one came from. It's madness, yeah. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm trying to think of reasons why that might work. Unless they wanted to quickly flip him and turn the 13 million into 30 or 40, but that would be very unfair to the player and not something I can imagine Jurgen Klopp doing. It's very unlike him. He usually stands by his players. Craig, what's with players wearing pink boots? Each to their own, Stephen. I mean, for me, mate, if you're going to wear pink boots, then you better be damn fucking good. You better be able to justify those pink boots. Did you hear about the Leicester owner? Of course, mate. We spoke about it in length. It's extremely sad. Obviously, all of our thoughts, best wishes, prayers and love are with Leicester and the Leicester family and the Leicester fans. It's extremely sad, and it's not just the owner. I mean, there was 4 other people that unfortunately passed away in that accident. So it's a very somber time for football, and it's at times like this we need to let Leicester fans know that they're not on their own. We're a football and family, and I know I speak for everybody here when we say that all our thoughts, love and respect are with Leicester, the owners family, the Leicester City family, the football club, fans, everybody concerned with the club. It must be extremely, extremely tough for them all. I know Lee Chappie, who's a friend of mine on social media. He's the guy who looks like Jamie Vardy, the Jamie Vardy impersonator. I've been chatting with him back and forth a little bit, and he's so cut up, and understandably, it's for them. The Leicester City owner was a man who brought them the impossible. He brought them the Premier League. He brought that club to a place where most Leicester fans never thought they'd get to. So you can understand why he was so loved, adored, respected, and will be sadly missed by Leicester City and their fans. Jay said, I've heard that the Ox's injury is worse than many believe. Club not saying much publicly. Lucky if he's back before the end of the season, and the concern is will he come back the same player? Hope that's wrong. Jace, you wouldn't be the first, mate, not to come back after an injury like that, not the same player. I sincerely hope he does, and I know you do as well, because he's been a massive hit with Liverpool. Liverpool fans have taken him to their hearts. He's won us all over with his performances, with the type of fella that he is, with the gesture he's made to fans. I hope to God he comes back, mate. I really, really do hope he comes back as good as he was. For his sake, as much as the rest of us. I mean, no matter what happens, the club will continue to move on, but it would be infinitely better for everyone if we could move on with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain back to his best. He deserves it. He's a wonderful fella. Phil Neville is at it again, said Neil Anthony. He's saying Liverpool have had an easy start to the season and lucky not to get beaten on 3 occasions. Oh, Philip. This is the same fucking clown who comes out with shite week after week after week. He really is just a fucking plank. I would pay to sit on Match of the Day. I would pay them to have me on there just so I could talk to him. What a fucking idiot he is. Have Liverpool had the most tough start to a season of any club in the Premier League's history? Absolutely not. But come on. We're 10 games into the season now. And we've played Chelsea away, we've played Spurs away, we've played Manchester City at home. I mean, that's 3 fairly tough games. So to say we've had an easy start to the season, and we're playing Arsenal on Saturday, to say we've had an easy start to the season is just another example of Phil Neville letting the world know that he's a fucking idiot. And he should just stick to his job as the England ladies manager, concentrate on that. He shouldn't have got that job, by the way. He wasn't qualified for that job. The lady that he was up against for that job was infinitely more qualified than he was. So the fact that he got that job is a fucking joke in itself. But nobody gives a fuck what Phil Neville has to say. Gary Neville doesn't give a fuck what Phil Neville has to say. Bring on those gooners, will spats those twats, said Gary. 4k subs though. Thought you were at 94k. I'm so dumb, mate. If we were at 94k, I mean, I'd be over the fucking moon. YouTube has kicked us in the bollocks again, said Lee. YouTube absolute garbage. I got copyrighted for fucking using a picture. Well, Connor has shown me incidences of people who literally play Simpsons episodes on their channel and are monetized. People who do nothing but show football clips or stream games, show goals, all copyrighted content, but yet they're monetized and they make money. It's absolute, yeah. Reused content, said Claire. It's a live fucking show. Exactly. Whose content are we reusing, Claire? Exactly. We don't even have intro music. It's absolute dog shit. It just makes no sense. I don't understand what YouTube are doing. Oh my god, you don't reuse content. Exactly. It's the most fuck you excuse. Like, it's basically like, click a button. I don't know. I don't understand, guys. It's fucking mental. And do you know what? If they said you reused content, this is the reason why we're saying no. On this occasion, you did this and this. Then you'd go, oh, do you know what? Didn't realise that. Thank you for pointing that out to us. We'll address that and we'll reapply. But they don't. They just say reuse content. That's it. That's the only phrase you get. Nothing else. No more information. No examples. No way you can rectify it. Nothing. So for 7 months, we've been trying to get monetized. And for 7 months, we've been told the same thing. And yet not told what that thing is. Just told you reuse content. Which we've never done. We make original content on here, so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's so frustrating because we want to play by the rules. YouTube are just dumb, said Brandon Kelly. Craig, fuck YouTube, said Stephen. That's kind of the angle we're getting to, mate. We're trying to figure out a way around this so we can financially do it without YouTube, while still obviously being on YouTube, because it's where most people can see our content. But Twitch, in my opinion, is the best site for live streaming. If we tried Twitch, right, it's full of kids basically that are more concerned in just coming on and being abusive. It's not for us at this moment in time. We did try streaming on Twitch at one point. It just, I don't know, maybe they just don't like me, but it wasn't going down too well on Twitch. Cryptic Gaming said I have to go, Craig. My phone is on 1. Talk to you soon, mate. Enjoy. Plug that fucking phone in as well, buddy. It's a conspiracy, Craig. Something, not the bullshit they said. Something is stopping you. You need to try and get to the bottom of it. Sorry to hear that. So am I, mate. I'll be even more sorry if it forces us to close the fucking channel at some point. What else is there? Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get through all your comments because I appreciate you taking the time to write them. It might be my comments, I keep using the same old rubbish, said Gareth Phillips. I think you're alright, mate. I don't think it's down to you, but thank you for trying to take ownership. The dark state in action, said Dirty Girl. Can you get a petition from subs or anything similar to appeal? No, mate, not that I know of. Or even trying to just find a way of contacting them to try and figure out exactly what's going on. And even at that, it's like pulling teeth. Louis said, DT chatting shit about the game, thinking they're going to banter us, would do much better in our defence considering last time out we had Clavin and Lovren. DT can go and fuck himself, honest to God. That lad is a fucking idiot. Honestly, just go fuck off, DT. Nobody cares what you have to say, you fake fucking wannabe hard man. Just fuck off. You and your shy tattoos, mate, just fuck off. Maybe YouTube have made too many channels monetized. Then just say that, Lee. That'll be no problem. Just say we can't monetize any new channels. That'll be grand. At least then you know what you're working with, mate. Night guys, want to go to sleep before the ghost in the room kill me, said Ben. Ooh, that's fucking, it's a bit deep, Ben. We should keep Trent at right back, train Gomez up to be the starting 11 centre back of Virgil. Monster duo that'll be. I agree, Pinther mate, I agree, or PNTHA, excuse me if I mispronounced that. Mr. Envy, I'll call you that one. I agree, put Gomez at centre back and keep Trent at right, that'll do me grand. Probably because you're Mavericks and they feel you can't control you, what a bunch of pricks YouTube are. Lots of people think it's the language and stuff, but there is an option that they could just say no because of language, or that they could at least limit what we could be, what advertising revenue we can bring in because of language. But you know what, that ain't going to change us. Nothing is going to change us. The only thing that's going to stop us is if we can't fund it anymore. Other than that, nothing is going to censor us, nothing is going to stop us, and we're going to keep on fucking doing what we're doing. Maybe it's not what you want, advertising, my friend, said Tony Smith. Possibly, Tony. I mean, you could be right. I mean, we could, yeah, you could be right, but we still need to keep this thing ticking over in some way. Craig, maybe you said Liverpool won again. Oh, I never thought of that, Claire. You're right. That's true. Maybe we did. Shit. Maybe it's just, maybe they're in with Sky, Claire. Maybe they're all against us. Maybe we're just not allowed because Liverpool are doing well. So maybe they just want to give us a kick in the balls. Does anyone else feel like Mascherano has been wiped off LFC history? I love him forever for his interview he did after he just beat the Manx in the UEFA Champions League final. He's a legend in my eyes. I think the way he left has soured a lot of people's thoughts about Javier Mascherano. If I remember correctly at the time, there was comments from other players, I think players from Barcelona and stuff, saying that he was almost being treated like a slave or something. Now, I could be incorrect on that. I think something along those lines was said somewhere. And there was other things, again, around the time. So I think it's the way he forced the move out that annoyed so many Liverpool fans, particularly because the club brought him in from nowhere, West Ham. They really brought him in out of the fucking wilderness and gave him a chance. So he was a great player. There's no argument of that one. The Echo must be on weed or something, saying we're going to loan Fabinho to PSG and sell Shaqiri to Betis. What the fuck is going on here? Oh my God. Honestly, what the fuck are these people at? Is this just silly season gone mad? They're linking our players to absolute bullshit, like. Why would Shaqiri go to Betis? Why? Why the fuck would he go to Real Betis? It just makes no sense. He's finally got the big move. He's doing well at the club. He's liked by the fans. Why would we loan Fabinho to PSG? Loan Fabinho. I know they'll probably disguise that behind something like PSG are looking to skirt financial fair play, and they're loaning them and then they can buy them next year, whatever, when they freed up funds, or FFP isn't too bad to them, but it ain't going to happen. Be honest, it's not going to happen. They can try and even bring in Rabiot into this conversation somewhere as well, but either way, it's not happening. Fabinho ain't leaving Liverpool this summer. Some pink boots represent fight against cancer. Respect the players. I did not know that, Andre, so thank you, mate. That's a very, very good point. And absolutely respect for that. Absolutely respect. If it's for cancer and support of cancer, or the fight against cancer, then absolutely, Andre. Lots of love for that. The pink boots is to promote cancer awareness for the month of October, said Stephen Kelly. Again, thank you for letting me know about that, mate. Craig, I'm more than willing to pay a monthly fee for it. You're worth it. The other channels just aren't as good. That's the thing, Stephen, mate. We don't want to charge people for the content. We just don't want to do it. Now, as I've said before, if anybody does want to make a voluntary donation to the channel, then yes, we do have somewhere you can do it. Where is it? I'll post it in there now. So I'm posting a link into the chat there now. There you go, it's gone in. If anybody does want to make a once-off contribution to the channel, they can do so there. It's a PayPal account. It's really straightforward. You don't need a PayPal account. All you need basically is a Visa debit card, a bank card, a credit card, whatever. But look, no pressure on you guys. I just dropped it in there because somebody mentioned it earlier on. Is it possible to make them give you one or two examples? That's what we're trying to figure out, Signor Flamo. And you'd imagine that if they really had any interest in helping us out, that they would say, Anfield Agenda, we can't monetize you at this point because of this example and this example where you breach these rules. Then you'd go, fair enough, thank you. Apologies about that one, we'll fix that and get back to you. But again, nothing, mate. Absolutely fucking nothing but fuck you is basically what we've got. Craig, what's that with Monster Energy ham? It wasn't real. It was something that somebody put up. It was fucking brilliant. I don't know if you guys had seen it. There was a picture in the rounds on social media where somebody had made an image of a packet of ham, but it was branded as Monster Energy ham, so caffeine infused ham or something like that. And it was doing the rounds on social media, and it caught me out as well. I said to my missus, "Is this fucking true? Is this where we're at now? Monster Energy are making packets of fucking ham." Yeah, so it got me, I have to admit, it did catch me out. Leicester City fans stay strong, said Thomas Boland. Exactly. I can't even imagine what they must all be going through at this moment in time. Obviously all our love and support is with them, and I know it's easy for us to say that. I know I can just sit here and say, oh, all our love and support are with them, but I genuinely mean it. We are a football family. I've spoken before about the way at times I think we need to forget about club rivalries when you see a bunch of fans, for instance, manhandled by security over in Spain outside a stadium, rather than just say, oh look, it's those United fans, they must have been up to something bad. I think we have to look at it differently and think, hang on, this is a bunch of football fans, this could be our fans next year. Let's look into this a little bit more and let's find out exactly what's been going on. I think we're too quick to vilify each other as football fans and immediately look to point the finger of blame at other fans. Let's not forget that first and foremost, we're all football fans. We all love the game, we all love the Premier League. At times we need to back each other a little bit more. He ripped every major ligament in his knee, a real major injury for the Ox, said Tina. It was a massive, massive injury, and it goes to speak for the character of the man that he didn't even want people to know how bad the injury was while they had to run into the final in Kiev and stuff. He just wanted them to get on with what they were doing, and he didn't let them know quite how bad it was. He's an absolute star. Likes baby, said Tom Boland. So if you do, guys, if you do have a second, please do drop a like on the stream, and of course if you're new to the channel or you're new to the stream, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The account is growing strong. It's beautiful to see. Well, it won't be long now before we head towards 5,000 subscribers. Craig, do you think boots the same colour as grass might be an advantage with close offside decisions? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think maybe more jerseys that would interfere with the assistant linesman's eyes or something. I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there though, Paul, who have looked into stuff like that. I'm sure that there are boots companies and other people. There has to be somebody out there who has thought along those lines. What's wrong with pink boots anyway? They wear blue, gold, red, orange, etc. Come on, people, we're in 2018. Lose the stereotyping. Mate, it's got nothing to do with the fact that they're pink in my eyes. I'm old school. For me, the boots should be black, possibly white. It's not really to do with the pink. I'm a person that would say if you wear flashy boots, then you'd better be good enough to wear them. That's where I am with this. It's got nothing to do with the pink part. I wear pink fucking t-shirts, buddy. I'm a fan. Men wear pink. No problem with that whatsoever. It's the flashiness part that I was talking about. Craig, Phil Neville is a toss bag. Yes, Gary, I fully agree with you, mate. Let me just read that out again just to make sure I have that right. Phil Neville is a toss bag, mate. Yes, agree. Fully agree, Gary. Great comment, mate. Comment of the night so far, buddy. I'm right with you. Phil Neville is a toss bag. Phil Neville is batshit crazy. Poochman. Poochman just followed it up with an absolute fucking beauty. Phil Neville is batshit crazy. There you go. I think, no, hang on. This just in, mate. Yeah, Bats have moved to distance himself from Gary or from Phil Neville. They're saying that they don't want to be associated with his type of crazy. So there you go. Bats quickly moving in to disassociate himself with Philip Neville. Fuck Phil Neville, the little twat, said Louise. I think we've rubbed off on you people a little bit too much at times. I think maybe we've made some people use some words that they don't usually use, so apologise if we've rubbed off on you all and you're becoming, I think, people that I like to call cuntologists, my fellow cunt enthusiasts. Cuntologists, now there's a word. Come join the cuntologists. Love this channel. Then consider becoming a patron like me. Use Patreon or PayPal. Help this channel to stay on the air, said Stephen Taggart. And thank you, Stephen, by the way, for your continued support, mate. Stephen is a patron of the channel, which means he's sends money every month on Patreon, and that is very, very much appreciated, sir. I don't know about you guys, but I always get nervous before a big game, but I think we can do it on Saturday. Come on, Liverpool. I'm the same, Gary. I usually feel quite nervous before the big games, buddy. But for this one, I don't know why. It could be false arrogance, but I just feel that Liverpool are going to go there on Saturday and get the win. I don't know why I'm so confident about this particular game. I really just think we're going to go and do it. So I'm with you, buddy. Mascherano was nuts, said Stephen Richards. What else have we got? Oh, his message was deleted. What did he call me? Oh, that's not nice. Yeah, that is a fair. You don't want to wish injury on any player, to be fair. That was a rather bold comment, Ryan. Craig, YouTube is run by Manx, said Stephen Richards. There you go. The only Neville with balls is Tracy Neville, said Stephen Richards. Now, come on, that's not nice. That's not nice. There's no need to drag his sister into it, to be fair, Stephen. His sister is, you know, sister's got nothing to do with how fucking ridiculous Phil Neville is. Have we gone through? So have we missed any more comments there? Oh yeah, I've gone through that one. Always thought Raggy was a bit underrated, said Ferno. I think a few people think the same. I think a few people think that he wasn't as bad as people make out. And you have to remember, he was, what, a 4 million quid signing or something? He wasn't that expensive. I think we definitely got our money's worth out of the man. I hope he plays the end of his career. I hope he enjoys the end of his career. I was actually really sad that Liverpool didn't win the Champions League and get to the Super Cup, because it was in Estonia. It was in Tallinn, so it would have been beautiful for Ragnar Klavan to get to play in the European Super Cup in Tallinn, in his home country. Maybe think about going in to see someone at YouTube in London. They're in King's Cross behind the station. Next time you're in London, try and see someone there. Good luck. No, don't think I can just rock up to the building, mate. Google are in Dublin, by the way, so we could always drop into their Dublin offices. But I'm hoping that somebody knows somebody, I think, that may work in Google. So I'm hoping we can find a back doorway in or something to at least try and get a reason why. Liverpool don't have anyone in midfield as good as Terry McDermott and Ray Kennedy. That's why they'll finish second, said Gareth Phillips. That's probably not why they'll finish second. I mean, if they finish second, it's because Manchester City are just better. The midfield situation, I'm very happy with our midfield, mate. Naby Keita is pretty damn good. Fabinho's awesome. Jimmy Milner's pretty good. I don't think that'll be the reason why if we finish second, we finish second. People from the Echo are so negative, I don't like them, said Louis. You're so right, fella, it's just the way they went about it. Craig, I found a phone number and address to YouTube if you want it. Louise, can you DM that to us on Twitter? Or DM Connor on Twitter with that one if you can, please. Or me, of course. You can DM me with it, at @CopJaffer_LFC. Agents trying to stir up a market. Okay, what else have we got? Jay said, the only thing these stories about Shaqiri and Fabinho is for clicks, mate. Nothing else. It's sad, isn't it, that in this day and age, journalists and sites are under so much pressure to bring in revenue and get clicks that writing a good story or having some journalistic integrity kind of seems to have to go out the window at times. I'm sure this is why some people, this is not why, excuse me, a lot of people got into journalism. I'm sure when people, you know, decided they want to go to the college and become a journalist is because they had a love for the English language, or they wanted to tell news in a specific way, they wanted to break big stories, and they wanted to do good. I'm sure it wasn't to write bullshit stories and get clicks. It really is sad that media has had to go that way. It's sad, yeah. It's just not right. We don't even know if our news is news anymore. That's how fucked up it is. Like, we don't know what we're being told. But that's a whole another conversation. So Chelsea and City are through on the cup, more knackered, the better I say. I watched the first half, Claire, of the Manchester City Fulham game, and I don't know why Fulham showed up. I mean, they had one corner in the entire game. Manchester City, who had 70% or so, or 68% of the possession, had more than twice as many fouls as Fulham, which makes no sense to me. If you're Fulham and City have the ball, you're going to want to be up on their faces. You're going to want to get stuck into them. You're going to want to let them know you're there. You're going to want to give them no time, but they gave them too much respect. They did what everybody does against Manchester City. They had an inferiority complex, and City were able to coast through the game, and that's no disrespect to Manchester City. They can only beat what's put in front of them. Unfortunately, Fulham just rolled over and lubed up and said, come get it. Salah in an interview posted on Sky, I had a plan in my mind that I would hopefully one day come to Liverpool. Although now the story's popping about that he wants to leave in January. I mean, it's you could make this shit up. I could say you couldn't, but you absolutely could, because they're doing it. Paul said NFL players wear lots of pink. It's breast cancer awareness, which of course, you know, much love for the people who are raising awareness for that as well. It's a very, very good cause. Trent for right back, Gomez for centre back. Trent needs to cut the bullshit off the pitch, just needs to keep his head down, and he'll be an all-time great. I agree, Mr. Whelan. I don't know if it's Stephen, so I don't want to call you Stephen. I think we should just leave Gomez where he is at centre back and leave Trent where he is at right back. If you're not happy with Trent's defending, or you think he could be exposed, then bring in Nathaniel Klein. I just want to see Joe Gomez keep this opportunity he has at centre back, because he hasn't deserved to be moved or dropped. Being dropped would be harsh, though, because he'd still be on the field. I suppose it would be more a compliment to him if he was moved to right back, but it doesn't make sense to me to put two players out of position. It'll be a hard game on Saturday, but I'm going for the Reds because the squad of Arsenal isn't so strong this season compared to Chelsea, Man City and Spurs, says Zeta. He's a good midfielder as well, Gareth, as well as Jimmy Case and Souness. So many to choose from. I mean, Liverpool we've been spoiled for midfielders over the years. Mr. Bugsy said, hi Craig, sorry I'm in, have I missed much? What have we talked about tonight? We've spoken about Sky bringing up stories about Karius and the English media trying to spin this bullshit story that Besiktas are trying to send Karius back to Liverpool in January, because it simply isn't true. They can't do it anyway, but apart from that, it simply isn't true. We've spoken about Phil Neville saying Liverpool have had an easy start to the season. We spoke about YouTube refusing us monetization again, but look, I don't want to go back into that. What else have we spoken about? A few stories in the media linking Liverpool players that move away. One thing we haven't spoken about tonight, guys, and maybe somebody did put this earlier on, but apparently, again according to Sky sources, Liverpool have ruled out a move for Aaron Ramsey. So We know Aaron Ramsey's been told by Arsenal that he'll be allowed to leave at the end of the season, that there will be no contract offer forthcoming for him. So he's going to be a free agent in the summer. A lot of us thought perhaps Liverpool would be interested. Well, Sky have come out and said that Liverpool have told them, or sources have told them, that Liverpool have no interest in Aaron Ramsey. So let me know what your thoughts on that is. I have to say I agree with it if it was going to stop us getting somebody who we'd already got in mind. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I'd rather a Fekir than an Aaron Ramsey. So in that sense, I'm kind of glad to see a little bit of distance put between us and Aaron Ramsey. But look, I'm not going to run the player down. He's a very good player. Craig, would you take Ronnie Whelan over your favourite Liverpool player? No. Love Ronnie Whelan, Gareth. Absolutely love him. He's Irish for a start, why wouldn't I? But I'm not getting rid of Bobby Firmino to bring in him. Although if we're talking my favourite Liverpool player ever, then Robbie Fowler. So no, he's definitely not getting in. But what a player Ronnie Whelan was. I mean, I'm not trying to undervalue how good he was. He was an excellent player. And if anybody's seen the goal he scored for Ireland against Russia, or the USSR, a scissors kick volley, I mean, Google that. That was an amazing goal. One of the best goals you'll see in international football. Anyone excited for the Amazon Stevie G documentary? I'm counting down the days. The trailer was heartbreaking when they mentioned the slip and how he was racing against time to win the Premier League. I honestly didn't know that was even in existence. I do have an Amazon account as well. That's the funny thing. I do have Amazon Video. I just don't watch it because there's fuck all on there over in Ireland. But if that documentary goes up, I'm definitely... How long has it got till it goes up? I tried to watch the Man City one, but I just felt it was like football for dummies, if that makes sense. I thought because they had to try and explain too much to a wider audience, I just couldn't be arsed going through it. Shut Aubameyang out and play Gomez, said Tippy. I don't know. I don't want to show Arsenal that much respect, to be fair. We're better than them. They should be the ones changing to suit us. I don't want us to change our team to bow down to Aubameyang. I mean, not for me anyway, buddy. I just think we're better than them, so let's just go and prove it. Craig, did you see a Hibs supporter hit the Hearts goalkeeper? I did, but also to flip that on its head, a Hearts fan hit the Hibs manager in the face with a pound coin. And look, we know Neil Lennon isn't shy of things to say, and he was kind of giving it a gesture towards the fan base at the time, but to get hit in the fucking jaw with a pound coin like that isn't great. And of course the goalkeeper getting hit as well. This type of shit you don't want to see in the game. I like the comment from Neil Lennon saying a fucking pound coin as well was thrown at me, so obviously this person wasn't short of money, which is you know, it's always good to have a sense of humour in those moments. And he also said that he'd like to meet this person, which I think we all know what he means by that. Megan Nonke said we've the best medical team in the Premier League, so the Ox is in good hands. So where's that one? Can't wait for the Arsenal game. Where's that comment gone? Somebody said I can't wait for the Arsenal game, and I want to read the comment out because I hate missing comments. Boy, I'm going to have to give up. There we go. Can't wait for the Arsenal. It was Claire. Well, I'm glad I went back now because I hate to miss Claire's comments. Glad. Can't wait for the Arsenal match. Seems like a long week with no midweek matches. I think we'll batter them. I'm going for a 3-1 win to the Reds. Exact same scoreline as I'm going for, Claire. Zeta said Arsenal have just got Aubameyang and Lacazette, really good, but I think they'll be a little bit. I think they're a little bit overrated. Stephen Richard just said Craig, I like Mo's Adidas boots on the Sky advert where he scores against City. I am so old, mate, and so out of touch with all that stuff because I haven't played football like on the field in so long that I don't even look at boots anymore. I had to buy my daughter a pair of boots last year. And I just went onto the Adidas website, ordered a pair of boots and got her name on them because it was an option at the time. Other than that, I haven't even been in the market to look at football boots in so long. Brian Morrissey said exactly, wear flashy boots and you'd better deliver. Stephen Richards said Craig Louise has a mucky mouth. Well, there you go. She sounds like my type of lady, Stephen. So well done, Louise. You keep it up. News just in, Pogba has finally struck that penalty, said Paul. It was a heck of a jog up, I have to say. It was Jaja-esque. Ferno said, I loved using the word cunt before I started watching Anfield Agenda, but now I love using it even more. My wife doesn't even blink when I say the word cunt. I mean, she knows I can't go 10 sentences without throwing out the word. Tina Murphy said, I'm trying to make a payment, but I'm having trouble, so I'll try again tomorrow. No worries, Tina. Thank you, by the way. Don't feel under any pressure whatsoever. I don't ever want to see anybody, leaving themselves short or anything. If anybody wants to donate to the channel, it's very much appreciated. But again, I don't want anybody going out of their way to do so. Just again, I will stick it in there because a couple of people were back in late. So there it is. If anybody wants to help us out, the channel link is there. My first boots were Patrick. My greatest ever boots were Puma King. What were yours, Craig? Had a pair of Puma King. Not gonna lie, mate. Love them. Loved Puma King. Great boots. Adidas. Is it Adidas Mundial or Mundial Kappas? I had a couple of pairs of Adidas. I'm sure they were called Kappas though, or Adidas Mundial Kappas or something like that. But it was either them or Puma King. They're definitely the best two for me, Tony, mate. Didn't have a pair of Patrick ones though, but they were around at the time. I absolutely do remember that. I did, however, have a tennis racket. It wasn't even John McEnroe. It was his fucking brother, whatever. Patrick McEnroe, I think, was on one of the tennis rackets I had as a kid. Craig, Louise is sat next to me farting, said Stephen. Excuse me, Stephen. Now this is where I take umbrage with you, mate. Women don't fart. They simply cough in their knickers. That's something I was taught when I was younger. Women don't fart, they just cough in their knickers. Remember rat-faced Phil Neville lecturing people on divers, then done the same in the centre circle and the pit of misery in the derby. Again, he's a fucking idiot. Former Red Craig Johnson invented the Adidas Predator boot, said Megan Onke. True, but the rest of the story isn't so nice. Yeah, look into that story, delve a little bit deeper into the Craig Johnson Adidas Predator boots, and it's not, he didn't make the money you'd have expected him to make. I was an angel till I started watching here, said Louise. I believe you, Louise. Millions and millions wouldn't, but I believe you. I believe you over Stephen every day of the week. Keith said, if we start Shaqiri, I feel like I'll have an easier game than if we don't. Yeah, I'm kind of torn on that one, Keith. I understand why anybody would want Shaqiri to play. I completely get it. And I said a few moments ago that I think we should make Arsenal change to suit us. But at the same time, I've been saying all week that I think the midfield trio should be Fabinho, Milner and Gini Wijnaldum. Maybe that's a little bit contradictory. I don't know. I just think we need to win that battle. But I'm not going to be in the slightest bit upset. If Shaqiri starts, then fucking brilliant. He deserves a start. So I guess we're finally wearing our second strip at the Emirates on Saturday. It's been a long time, said the Musk. It has, hasn't it? Haven't seen that purple kit in a while. I still can't believe the purple kit is the second kit. I thought this kit here was going to be the away kit this season, and the purple one was going to be our third. So I was a bit shocked when the news came out that this was in fact going to be the third kit. Gary said, Craig, this is probably a stupid question. What do you eat during the game? If I'm at the game, or if I'm sitting at home watching. If I go to Anfield, mate, it's the same thing. I always get a sausage roll. Before the game, I always go into this. There's a chipper that's across the road from the gates of Anfield. From the Shankly gates. What the fuck's it called? Oh, the Paisley gates. Sorry, the Shankly gates. There's this chipper across the road. It's a shitty little chipper. I can't think of the name of it. I'm trying for the life of me to think of the name of it. But anyway, I go in there every time before the game. I get chicken nuggets, chips and curry sauce in this tray. They're always horrible. They're always either fucking freezing or scalding. And I don't know why I do it. I go and eat the same thing all the time, mate. It's fucking horrible. I never eat it all. And then I go in a half time or before the game, I get a sausage roll. Because I like the sausage rolls. De Bruyne went off against Fulham with a knee injury, sadly. Hopefully it isn't bad. He's an amazing player. Yes, look, I'm going to say something that a lot of people don't agree with, and I've had people moan at me about this before, but I hope it's not a serious injury because you don't want any footballer to pick up an injury. Kevin De Bruyne is an excellent footballer. Will it benefit Liverpool if he's out long term? Probably, but I'm not that much of a cunt. I don't want to wish harm on a footballer. So I hope it isn't a serious injury for Kevin De Bruyne, and I hope he is back soon. If we're going to win this league title, let's go and win it properly. Let's go and win it because we were better. Stephen said, I also miss Igor Bishkan. Have you seen the shit DT's been chatting? He chats a lot of shit. My parents are disappointed in me. Honestly, he's just a wannabe rude boy, isn't he? I don't have much time for that fucking idiot, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I mean, fuck DT. Honestly, that whole channel of theirs is just set up to mock their own fans. So, fuck him. Fuck Arsenal Fan TV. Fuck Gark. Arsenal fans in general aren't the worst, to be fair. I don't find Arsenal fans the worst. But he's just, I've had no dealings with him really. Well, one thing. But I just don't like him. I don't like the channel that makes a mockery of their own fan base. It's just not for me. So if he's talking shit, he's full of it anyway. So fuck him. Fuck DT. Fuck Arsenal Fan TV. Oh, sorry, not allowed to call that anymore because the club hate them so much that they wanted to distance themselves in any way from the channel. So AFTV. So yeah, fuck DT and fuck AFTV. The dad's name is Neville. Well, the dad, unfortunately, the father has passed away, so I'm not going to disrespect a man who's passed away. But yes, his name was Neville. But other than that, I mean, no comment there. Respect to the gentleman who's passed away. De Bruyne is brilliant, so that's too bad he's injured. If we want to win the league, must be the best team. He makes Manchester City tick. He's an exceptional footballer, Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, anybody who would even dare to say otherwise is talking shit. Yeah, and if Manchester City, of course, will be weaker without him, but look, let's just wait and see. You don't want to wish a bad injury on anybody. Well, our fans wouldn't anyway. I've seen some fucking scumbags come out and say some dirty shit over the years. From all clubs, actually, to be fair. The Liverpool team from the 80s with all those greats like Grobler, Phil Neal, Rush, Dalglish, Whelan, McDermott, Hansen, Lawrenson would just destroy City. They would snap them in half like a twig though. And I'm not talking about just from a footballing sense. They would just be too tough. They would battle the fuck out of them. They would break them down, wear them down, break them down psychologically. Those men were just men of steel. Claire said, I still think we'll win the league. Man City's wheels will fall off at the end of the season. De Bruyne is a great midfielder who can change the game and score when he's fully fit. I have a feeling, Claire, Manchester City, I've said this all along, and again, I don't know if it's just wishful thinking on my behalf, but I have a feeling that they're going to be too focused on the Champions League, and Pep's under a little bit of pressure to deliver that for the owners. Again, it could be wishful thinking, but I hope that distracts them and that, you know, gives us a chance to cement our challenge this season. And I want to fucking win it so badly. I'm not going to lie. I want it so badly. Craig, what do you think the score against Arsenal will be? I'm going for 3-1, mate. 3-1 to the Reds. Two of the greats, enjoy a new journey instead of this negativity. I'm actually really happy. Going the game now, knowing we have a chance. It must be brilliant, mate. I mean, I'll be so happy to be able to go to the game every week. But yeah, it's amazing. It's such a great feeling amongst the fan base. Apart from those miserable fuckers who were never happy. But in the main, it's a brilliant time to be a Liverpool fan. Stephen said, Craig, I've just increased my Patreon donation. Got to go, good night all. Thank you so much, Stephen, that's so kind. But again, mate, don't ever leave yourself short. Don't ever put yourself under pressure. But thank you so much, mate, that's really appreciated. Claire's gone, I'm going the Toffees top 6. Top 6 for, that's a big call. What else have we got? There was somebody there. The Trent news is bullshit, guys. Sad what people are willing to do just to try and ruin somebody's career. It's so bad for now, mate, that I've actually refused to discuss it on the channel. It's, you know, I've actually never read. There's been very few things I've been either careful about what I'm spoken about or refused to discuss. One of the issues we were very careful around was the whole Ronaldo rape allegations, and we'll park that to one side. But I don't even want to give that, what you're speaking about there, the time of day. I mean, not to Trent, no way. Love the guy too much. He deserves better, and yeah, we're not going to talk about it on the channel. No, you weren't trying to really talk about it. You were defending him, so I'm not having a go at you. What was the point of Emre Can leaving us in the summer? He literally never starts for Juventus. I don't know. I've no idea what it might be. No idea. Phil Neville played for Everton, which he did. Again, another brilliant thing to add to his life story. Brian said, we need to keep Gomez at centre back, but I think he'll play right back against Aubameyang. I can understand why people are calling him for it. I've given my take on it, so I'm just going to read out everybody else's comments on it. It's an interesting discussion, and it's something that has happened, so none of us can say that it's definitely not going to happen, because Klopp has done it before. 200k a week for Ramsey is madness, said Brian Morrissey. Is that how much he's looking for? Or is that how much has been reported that he's looking for? Because none of us really know. 200k a week, is that what he's looking for at Arsenal to stay there, or is that what he's looking for when he moves on? If you're, in fairness to Aaron Ramsey, you can say it's madness, but from what I remember reading on this situation, he had put up as good as, if not better, numbers than Mesut Ozil over the past couple of seasons. And yet he sees Mesut Ozil being rewarded with a bumper new deal. Is it 300 grand a week or something like that? It's a very high wage anyway. And if he's putting up Mesut Ozil numbers, or better than Mesut Ozil numbers, isn't he perfectly within his rights to ask for a Mesut Ozil contract? Now the club have said no to him, and I know a lot of Arsenal fans who are happy that the club has said no to him, but from his point of view, if you're doing similar numbers or better numbers to somebody comparable to your position, and they're getting fucking ridiculous wages, shouldn't you have the right to ask for them? I think Arsenal have made a rod for their own back in that situation, but they're standing over it and they're saying to him no, move on. So you know that they've made their decision. What's the situation of Oxlade-Chamberlain? It looks as though his injury is even more serious than some of us had thought, and that a few reports have suggested he might get back playing before the end of the season. I hope to God he does. I really, really do. Did you know Mark Goldridge ain't even his name? His name is Brent. I've no idea whether Mark Goldridge is or is not his real name. I've no idea if his name's Brent. I've no idea if he's really a Nottingham Forest fan. But what I do know is he's an absolute fucking idiot who's Mammy's special little soldier. Claire said 3-1 as well at the game. Come on the Reds, looking forward to this one. Van Dijk is better than Jamie Carragher, said Jack. Title wise, we've got it. The arrogance is funny from City. Wow, just watch us, said Tony Smith. Not to just brush over your comment, Jack. Yeah, Van Dijk probably is a better player than Jamie Carragher, but he's a long way to go to cement himself in Liverpool's hearts as much as Jamie Carragher has. But he's an excellent footballer. Just a bit more, you know, we love Jamie Carragher for various other reasons as well. Christopher said, I could be wrong, but I honestly think it's going to be between City, Chelsea and Liverpool for the league, and I have a feeling one of them three are going to have to do an unbeaten season to win the league. It's going to take a lot of points. It's going to take, somebody said the other day, imagine getting 90 points and not winning the league, and that's entirely possible. Imagine that. Imagine getting 90 points and not winning the league. Somebody maybe has researched this before. Has that happened on many other occasions or ever? I don't really know what it takes to win the league. I know I've seen teams win it in the mid 80s. I remember that much, or mid to high 80s. So 90 points and not winning the league. I mean, that would be tough, wouldn't it? 30 games out of 38, and I mean winning 30 games out of 38 and not winning the league. I mean, what has to be our target for the league this year? What points tally are we looking at to try and win the league? 10 games into the season and we're on 26 points, so if you roughly take that as a quarter of the season, and I know there's only 38 games in the season, then you know you're looking at probably an average there of 26, 52, 104. and then taken off a little bit. You're probably looking at about 96.5, 97 points as an average, roughly. I think if we're going from our first 10 games and allowing for the fact that there's only 38 games and not 40. Craig, if VVD's header went in off the post last game, would you have won, or is it goal for first bet? For that particular game, I couldn't get a bet on because they weren't taking bets on a VVD header. But with regards to what you're asking about, yes, it doesn't matter if it's the first goal, the last goal. It just has to be a Virgil van Dijk header at any time during the game, Paul. And when he hit the post, I did smile, have to be honest. Tina said it's 350k a week that Ozil is getting. That's a fucking big number, isn't it? For a player that, in my humble opinion, hasn't earned it, isn't worth it at Arsenal. But you know, it's not my club, so I'll leave it for other people to talk about. That's what he wanted from Arsenal. Ozil's 350k. He's nowhere near Ozil's numbers. Oh, but he is, Brian. But he is, mate. Look at the last 2 seasons. From what I've read, he has performed better than Mesut Ozil. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I'm not gonna stand up here and, you know, be 100% certain. But I remember reading an article that said that he has done as good as, if not better than, Mesut Ozil's numbers over a particular time period. I'm saying 2 years. That may be incorrect, but he certainly done the numbers from what I believe. Who else agrees Mane and Firmino need better songs? Do you know what, mate? At least our fans are giving them fucking songs, which is brilliant. Some other fan bases need to concentrate less on making Liverpool songs and giving their own fucking players songs. But the more songs, the better. I love how clever the Liverpool fan base are. That new Virgil van Dijk song, The Dirty Old Town, is only a masterpiece. It's beautiful. LA, LA, LA last year, I mean, that was an anthem and a half. What a fucking song that was. Still have my 6-year-old son going around the house singing that. Beautiful, beautiful memories of that song. Bobby Duncan scored again. That's 11 goals in 11 games or something like that, and a couple of assists, said Ferno. Claire said Carroll was all heart, which counts for loads. Technically Virgil van Dijk is better, of course. Jamie Carragher's from Liverpool and is a Liverpool fan. Well, he is a Liverpool fan now, Jack, but he grew up an Everton fan. So he's a Liverpool fan since he started playing for the club, but he was an Evertonian once he, you know, when he was growing up. Let's not lie. I'm not saying you're lying. Jesus, mate, sorry that came out so bad. I wasn't trying to accuse you of lying. You could be genuinely just unknowing of that, but yeah, look, he was an Everton fan. Napoli didn't, and there was more, by the way. There was more Liverpool players as well that were Everton fans. Napoli didn't win the league last year and they had like 92 points. That's insane. That is fucking nuts. That's nuts. Just goes to show, like, that 92 points and not winning the league. And that was an amazing season from Napoli as well. I mean, they gave everything to that push for the league last year. They sacrificed cup competitions and stuff, European games. They concentrated so much. Sarri and Napoli went so hard to try and win Serie A. And 92 points and they still couldn't get it. That's mad. Stephen Gerrard film is out November the 15th, said Stephen Richards. Thank you very much for that. If you guys think Virgil is a good player, check out a certain Alan Hansen. We know who Alan Hansen is. Gareth, mate, come on, be fair. I respect that you love the older players so much, mate, but we're here to talk about the new ones most of the time. We can look to the past. We've respected the past. We'll always nod to the past, but let's just enjoy the guys that we have at Liverpool at the minute, because we'll be talking about them hopefully in the same breath in a few years' time. I think Van Dijk will score against Arsenal. They better give me odds this week. They better let me put my fucking fiver on a Van Dijk header. I can't wait to play Fulham because their defence is a shambles, and when we play them we'll stuff Arsenal, which is great. They were shocking tonight against Manchester City. As I said, they basically just lubed up and took it. Every team in the top 6 has the most points ever at this stage in a Premier League season. Watford have the same points, Man U in a treble year. Wow, that is a stat and a half there, Brian, mate. Thank you. Gomez and Trent need songs, says Claire. And she also asks, does Millie have a song? Neymar tracks back more than Ozil. I mean, that's saying a lot, isn't it? Brian said, okay, I've been totally wrong before too. Do you know what, mate? As long as we can both admit if we're ever wrong, I think that's the best we can hope for. That's just be honest. That's all we can say. We've both been wrong at times, and as long as we can both admit that we've been wrong, I think they can't really ask any more of us, mate. Harry Wilson scored a belter again. What a season that young man is having. I mean, what else can he do? What else can he do to prove himself? Zeta said it could be 90 points. Where's that comment gone? That drop, where did it go? There you go. It could be 90 points and not winning the league. The level is so high, many good teams and tight finishes, but it's very rare. I'm really excited at the prospect of Harry Wilson, said Paul. Jack said he didn't know that Carragher was an Everton fan. Yeah, unfortunately he was, mate. It's not something we want to say, but there's a few of them as well. Wasn't, again, could be wrong. I think Steve McManaman was an Everton fan. I think was Fowler a Blue Nose. There's a couple of them that have been Everton fans. Emlyn Hughes in this Liverpool squad. Klopp would have to drop Virgil. That's a big call. That's impossible to, I suppose, to rate players from generations like that. It's happening all across Europe. Record points totals across all the leagues, said Brian. The level's just going up and up and up, isn't it? Getting to win leagues is just getting so fucking hard. You're almost having to be nigh on perfect to go and win league titles. Like, it's nuts. Anthony's just answering Zeta and said a report in the Liverpool Echo today says August 2019, but he looks to be working well in the gym with regards to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Fulham are paying out like a slot machine, said Brian Morrissey. Didn't Fulham spend the most of any promoted side up to the Premier League in history this summer? Did they spend like 120 or 150 million pound or something? I know they certainly spent in excess of 100 million. I think they spent the most of any club ever promoted to the Premier League. Brian said Macca and Fowler, bang on, man. And Robbie Fowler's my favourite ever Liverpool player. I've had the privilege of meeting both the guys, those two guys as well. It is good though, isn't it? It's mad that, like, just think about that. Carragher being an Everton fan comes into the club, and of course you're family. Like, you are family once you're here, so it couldn't be any other way, could it? Yep, Robbie Fowler was an Everton fan growing up, said Louise. Or Louis, excuse me, Louis. God, I'm calling you Louise. That's fucking Ball Craig. Louis, apologies, mate. Claire said, was Fowler a Bloomlows? Wow, I knew about Cara. Yeah, there was a few of them. Again, I could be wrong. I'm sure about McManaman and Fowler. Michael Owen, I don't know. I don't really give a fuck about Mo, to be honest. I can't get over him going to United. I know, call me fickle. I just can't. It was just too dirty for me. Just no. And I've listened to his story on BT. He spoke very well about the situation. He spoke very well about his injuries and very frank and honest and openly. But it's just too much for me, man. Just no. We must have come close to 100 points when we won the league in 87-88, as we only lost 2 games. Fuck Owen, said Louis. There you go. You put it much better than I ever could, Louis. Right, guys, let me just check my list to see if there's anything else that I've forgotten to talk about tonight before we head off. Tomorrow's Friday night. It's going to be match build-up. So get yourselves ready. Get yourselves ready tomorrow. It is Premier League build-up. We will be looking forward to the Liverpool game against Arsenal. I want all your teams in tomorrow. I want your predictions. I want to know how you think Arsenal are going to set up. I mean, I want you guys to do your homework and get ready for tomorrow. Oh, Jamal, a couple of little stories actually. Jamal Lascelles has signed a new 6-year deal at Newcastle. I forgot to mention that one earlier on. Lascelles, obviously a player who was linked to Liverpool in the summer. Penned a 6-year deal today at Newcastle, so he'll be staying there. He joined from, if memory serves correct, Nottingham Forest, I think. He joined Newcastle from, so look, 6-year deal, tying him down. Newcastle fans will be over the moon to see the captain signing a new deal. So, you know, good news for Rafa there as well. It also seems today that Raheem Sterling's agent has verbally agreed a new deal with Manchester City. Apparently the deal will see Sterling sign a new contract until 2023. So, what, 4.5 year deal or something like that. So yeah, that's some more news that came out there today. Not really Liverpool related, but just some news I thought I'd put out there. We've already talked about Gary Neville. Yeah, I think we're pretty much up to date. Where has our good friend Daz gone? Miss the guy, asked Johnny Cunty Lux. I miss him as well. To be honest, mate, YouTube is the worst place for Daz not being around. We all love Daz. Second best YouTube channel with regards to Liverpool content. Second best, of course. I mean, I'm never going to admit anyone's better than us. I'm just that pig-headed. But I love Daz. Lots of love for the guy. I hope he does come back. I know Connor said he put out something saying that his personal life is very busy at the minute or something like that, and that he will be back. But mate, I hope he does, because, you know, Daz is pretty damn good at what he does. Michael Owen can go fuck himself, said Brian Morrissey. He's up his own arse. Doesn't really matter. We've got Joe Gomez. Craig, a contract is not worth the paper it's printed on. That is true. But just listening to Jamal Lascelles from his time at Newcastle, he seems to be very proud to be there and to be the captain of Newcastle Football Club. That's all I can say. But you are right, mate. In general, contracts aren't worth shit. If a player wants out, he'll find a way out. Claire Dean said, he took me to a derby when I was 2 years old. Liverpool won, so I'm a Red since that day. Ooh, aren't you lucky, Claire? Aren't you lucky the result went that way that day? I mean, imagine how horrible the old life could have been as a Blue. I mean, everything else in your life I hope is wonderful. And I hope your family life and all that stuff is brilliant. But imagine being in Blue. Oh, ooh, no thank you. Louis said the Bele news came out again, but these transfer rumours are all over the place. You're right, Louis, mate. There's just rumours coming out everywhere. It's just, we need clicks, we want clicks, give us clicks, click, 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 click. And a lot of the time, I think if anything has been proven over the past few transfer windows, is that a lot of the time the journos these days, they aren't getting a sniff, particularly around Liverpool. Sometimes stories are only breaking after players are signed, so I don't believe a lot of this shit. Ferno said, me and Daz were talking about Fekir way before we were even linked with him. Well, to be fair, Ferno, a lot of people were talking about Nabil Fekir and how good he was. I wasn't one of them, so I'm not trying to jump on that bandwagon for credit. But it was close, mate, in the summer, wasn't it? I have to admit that really did hurt in the summer when he didn't come in, buddy. That was definitely a player that we thought, I mean, how he couldn't have came any closer. Sitting there in a fucking shirt, like. I still reckon he signed the deal as well. I can't prove that, of course, but I reckon he's put his name on a contract. It just never got round to being sent to the FA or whatever because the deal wasn't finalised. Good night, Lee, mate. I'm going to head off soon as well, actually, guys. Do journalists think it's FIFA career mode or something? Asked Louis. Possibly. They do. They have to get clicks. That's the sad thing. I don't like the pressure that these people are under to try and get people to click on their site and read their links, because it's stopping them from, you know, doing what they love doing, I suppose, which is writing good quality articles about stories that they hope people want to read. And there are still some fantastic journalists out there and some fantastic sites putting out some great work, but just pressure, man. Pressure. Just click, 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 click. Got to get those numbers up. Got to get those clicks. Got to get that advertising revenue in. Got to keep people in a job. It's pressure, pressure, pressure. Yeah, it's tough out there in that world if you're a journalist or you're a publication trying to keep alive. Right, guys, I am going to head off, if that's okay. I'm absolutely cream crackered. One more time before I head off, just in case anybody's watching this back later on and they heard about the YouTube stuff and they do want to send a donation to the channel, I've just put it in there again. It's really straightforward. It's just paypal.me/Anfield Agenda. Don't feel under pressure, guys. It was a bit of bad luck today, or a bit of bad news when Connor said it to me, but look, we'll see how things work out. I'm going to head off, guys. Tomorrow, though, build up. I want you to bring your A game tomorrow. Big build up to the match on Saturday against Arsenal. Lots of love, as always, to everybody. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Yeah, I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream before you head off. And if you're watching this on playback or you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As always, guys, I will end by saying love you all and up the motherfucking Reds.